Zuckerberg has admitted that Facebook algorithmically censored the Hunter Biden laptop story for a week. Zuckerberg admitted that they did censor the story on Facebook, decreasing its reach. Zuckerberg said he did so following a general request from the Federal Bureau of Investigation to restrict election misinformation. Zuckerberg's admission came on the Joe Rogan podcast. Rogan asked Zuckerberg how Facebook handles controversial issues like the Hunter Biden story and whether it was censored. Zuckerberg replied saying he regretted how Facebook handled the issue, but added the approach taken by the social media company was reasonable. The controversy began when the New York Post published a story in October 2020, a month before the presidential election. The paper reported that a computer repair shop owner had said Hunter Biden had dropped off a damaged laptop in 2019 and never returned to pick it up. The laptop allegedly contained a 2015 email from a Ukrainian energy company to Hunter Biden, seeking a meeting with his father, who was then the vice president to the Obama administration. Zuckerberg claimed that Facebook's approach was different from the response given by Twitter. He explained that Facebook took note of the story for 5 to 7 days after it was published to determine whether or not it was true or false, with help from third-party fact-checking websites. Zuckerberg, though, defended the decision and said it was taken since the FBI had asked Facebook to remain vigilant, and he added that people would view the decision based on which part of the political spectrum they support. Meanwhile, amid the controversy, Republicans accuse Facebook of suppressing conservative voices. They blasted Zuckerberg for his move in the lead-up to the 2020 presidential election. Well, for more on this, we can go live to our US correspondent, Susan Turani, who's joining us live from New York City. Susan, quite an admission from Mark Zuckerberg here. What sort of reaction are we seeing to the news coming out from Facebook?
Well, Nick, Twitter really blew up after that admission by Mark Zuckerberg on that Joe Rogan podcast, really saying that this is completely an admission, really saying that big tech works hand in hand with big government when it comes to censorship. And this is, something that we saw not only Donald Trump really play on during both of his campaigns, but a lot of populist Republicans that followed him, the MAGA movement, if you may, also really played on during their campaign, saying that, those who have been left behind, those who have been censored, those who have been out of the loop and not part of big government, big tech, the elite, so to say, those are the ones that are part of our party. And this admission by Mark Zuckerberg really will be bigger than the Hunter Biden laptop story. It will really be about, those that are in power, those that have the power to make decisions, to wield their power on social media for public opinion, and those who, are with the people, so to say. And I think that that is really the gist of the takeaway that was playing out on social media. But on a larger scale, this is very concerning because on the one hand, Mark Zuckerberg came out and said that we got this warning from the FBI, sort of a suggestion, where the FBI, we know, doesn't make suggestions. They give out warnings that there's going to be a dump. They didn't say Hunter Biden particularly, but then on the other hand, we also saw on Twitter that a publication as valid as the New York Post was censored, and the same happened on Facebook as well. So, it was a very important admission, and I think that it's not going to go away. And I think the fact that the Hunter laptop story was brought up and is now mainstream and has been talked about not only by Mark Zuckerberg, which is really at the forefront and at the head of a big tech company, but it's also being talked about in Washington on Capitol Hill and being by Chuck Grassley, a Republican senator, and others. I think is going to be something to watch out for if and when the Republicans take control of Congress.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, it's certainly not going away. It surfaced just ahead of the 2020 presidential election, and now it's resurfacing just ahead of those important midterms. Do you think this could put more pressure on President Biden, the Biden administration in general?
Yeah, until now, this Hunter Biden laptop story has sort of been, at least for the Democrats, they had hoped that it would, one, go away by censoring it. On the other hand, it sort of was this tabloid conspiracy story. But as we move forward, it's really becoming something serious. There are national security implications to it on the one hand. And on the other hand, it's becoming really a censorship issue. And no, it's not going to go away. Yes, especially after Mark Zuckerberg's admission, I think. And what's happening with Mar-a-Lago with the FBI is really in the same context right now, because there is so much mistrust regarding big government and the FBI. It really will play into the in the upcoming 2022 midterm elections and in the 2024 presidential elections as well. Again, as I say, it's really about the haves and have-not, the elitists, the quote-unquote swamp that Donald Trump talked about. Those that can corroborate with big tech, have the power to do that, and those that are, on the side of the people. And this is what we're going to really see moving forward, not only in 2022, but 2024 as well.
Susan, thank you very much. That was Susan Turani joining us live there from New York City.